Good day, YouTubers, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from all around the world. We're closing up the side we started on last week. We got a few puzzle pieces to install, and we let some of these here at the bow run long so we could clamp them down to the edge of the keel line until that glue dries, and then we'll shave them off, sand them off, cut them off. But the main problem was this area here that we had to close in with the different lines of slivers. Now over here you can see we've got our first sliver to the front there, and then we got another couple slivers to close up the spread that we're creating with the full boards coming down. So this morning we're like four boards full coming in from where we left off last week. And then the same in the back, you can see we've got several slivers that we installed to close up the opening created by the full boards that wasn't consistent. So we got one there on the keel and near the rudder area, and another little one, but for the most part everything is closed in now. So we got a few puzzle pieces left here. One of them is shaped to close in this opening here at the end. It's not a full board, and then the same in the front, and then these other three pieces will close in the final section underneath. So we want to get this one on first. We got to jam it up into toward the bow in order to get the butt end of it to fit, but that's what we want in order to make a nice tight fit. So let's get some glue. I've been out here all morning long trying to get this side done, closed in. And these last few boards, just spent a lot of time shaping and fitting so that they got a nice closure on everything. And we'll put a little dab on these frames, and then we'll sort of pre-paint the edge it's going to be touching. The board up above it. Of course, we're going to be sanding this whole thing once we get everything done on the other side and get everything dry. So we want to put some glue on the bottom of that too, don't we? jam that dude up in there. And we know that's closing up on both ends. And I actually used up 2 piles of pins again. I get one right here on this frame member. Yeah, that feels like it hit pay dirt. And we'll push this up a little bit. And that one's a little floating there off of that frame, so we're going to put another pin in there. Middle looks good. Now this part here is wanting to pop up, and there's no frame behind that spot. So we're going to do a little trick here. Part of the trick is to pre-bend your pin so you've got a thing that can push down on the spot that you want. And then set that pin somewhere close to your push point. That angle that pin went in there is allowing it to slide back out. May want to go into the frame over here and then let this push on it. That way once it's in the frame, it's not going to come out near as easy. Sometimes you can use the hammer to create a more of a tight bend on that pin to help hold in pressure on that board there. It's coming up at the end, but that's not the part that matters. Right here at the end is what matters. Yeah. So the head part pushing on it didn't work, but the side of the pin's pushing in on it enough to hold it. Now we know this one's going to go in there, and then this one fits the opening left over. And then we got a little sliver here that'll fill that. So let's grab that with the tweezers. The straight part on the top and the angle on the bottom. don't want that to fall underneath the level of the other ones. But we do have to push it up enough to get half of the frame exposed. And it's really fighting us here. Because it's such a tight fit. And then the real question will be is if we haven't pushed up enough for this other one to fit in there. So let's get this one ready. That's enough glue, eh? Now, will that one fit? You can see that this board is shaved down quite a bit from its regular size. So I think we're going to have to push this first one over a little bit more. And that one went too much. Just what I didn't want to do. We got to pull it back out a little bit. Okay, let's see if this will fit in there now. Still not going to make it. Oh no. We got to have that piece, don't we? Got glue on it, so it's stuck to something. I think that's it right there. Nope. Hopefully that's it. Yes. So we got to go in a little bit more surgically. Hopefully that's enough. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Try hitting this one. I hope it'll fit now. Yes. Okay. Now let's get some glue on that. We're gonna paint this other one before we put some pins in there. As we know, we're touching the frame on both sides, so we can pin this point here. Have confidence that it's gonna stick. Oh, so I was actually too far over off of the frame, and that piece caved in there. So we got to get that up. We need to use a pin to get it up. Nothing like a good challenge, eh? There, got it up a little bit. Hope I don't split it. I'm gonna try to stab it again. That's not working. There we go. Now let's try to pull that back a little bit. Get back on that frame. And now pre-fit again here if this doesn't fit right. I'm going to cut a little off, because I know the frame is right there. Probably should have done that the first time. Yes. Alright, now let's get some pins in there. Yes. One over here. Yes. And this is sticking up. Now let's paint it with some glue again. This is the last closure on this side, so we'll be sanding a lot of this off, but the glue is going to soak in all the cracks in the wood. Help lock it in place. That's a good feeling now. This side is rough. Planking is done on this side. Wow, took me weeks. Of course, I've been working on the chickens and landscaping and all other kind of projects too. So I'll let that side dry overnight, and then we'll attack this side like we did last week. We started up here, and I've already taken the file and come in here and filed these high spots off that were pushing on me last time. I didn't file last time, I was fighting it. So I got those all filed off on this side, ready for the first few straight boards. And we'll try to get that closed in next week, which will be a good point, a step. Good and solid. All that glue and all those pins holding it down good. We should have a good solid connection between each frame member and each board. Just a lot of sanding to do before we put that finish. I'm pretty sure we're going to be using these really thin planks and planking over this thing. It should go a lot quicker because this stuff is a lot easier to manipulate than these big boards are. We just want to have a good sanded, smooth surface for them to bond to. We'll look at that in the plans when we get there. So I'm liking the way it came out. Took a lot of work though to get everything to fit nice and tight right up against the frame members. Probably a little bit unconventional with these short pieces, but it made it a lot easier. And what was to my advantage was when we were doing this part here and we created all these full boards going to a sliver, we had a lot of slivers that were cutoffs from that full board manufacturing to a sliver, and I was able to reuse several of them when we got up into this area to fill in. We just had to pick the right one that had the right amount of angle cut off of it. So some of them are short, some of them are really long, and you pick the right one to fill in that zone, trying to keep in mind you want one end at least in most cases you want one end to be full board width, and then use the other end to fill in somewhere, which worked good here and several times in the front. So that saved me a little bit of work, being able to use them slivers that were cut-offs. Normally would be thrown away as scrap. So what did I do this week? Oh my gosh. I went and got a trailer load of dirt, and we filled it up almost halfway with regular dirt, and then we put in peat moss, potting soil, compost, and mill organite, a little vermiculite, perlite, and we got these where we're going to add one more bag of some good compost pot soil before we start planting in them. We'll put taters and squash and good vegetables that you can eat. And this is an example of what we put down underneath the bottom to help with fill. We got some 1-inch holes drilled in there in about 5 or 6 different places for drainage, and then we put some of that weed barrier over the holes so that the dirt just doesn't fall out through the hole. And then put a whole bunch of dead rotten wood in there, branches and wood, logs that are dead rotten stuff, and some cardboard, just to act as a fill. And then as this stuff decomposes, it'll act as a good mulch and a good good base for deep roots. But we've got to get some more dirt for these two. I'll go next week and fill the trailer up with dirt again, get these up more than halfway with regular dirt, and then start putting in compost and peat moss, other goodies on top of it. Say hello to the chickens and the ducks this morning. They've already knocked their feed over here. I clean their water and feed them every morning. Gotta fill that up again. And then I clean their water and feed them again every night. Ducks are okay. We gotta get some fly control. Look how big they're getting. Man. And I'm thinking maybe tomorrow I'm gonna hook this door back up and let them out, see if they want to be outside or not. They're getting big enough. I think they can start going outside. We just can't let them mix with the ducks yet because the feed for the baby chicks is medicated and the feed for the ducks is not. So we might have to keep them separate for a little while longer. And then we added it's a rain gutter, and I used my 10 snips and some pop rivets and mitered the corners of 2 pieces and bent some flaps so I could join them together and pop rivet it, make it pretty solid. And then my wife planted a whole bunch of marigolds in there, and we drilled some holes in the bottom of that too so it drains. And that's just for a little beautification in front of the chicken run. And we planted some more lilies over here that we had in a big pot that was over by the fence. put them all in the ground with these vermiculi or vermiliads. There's a vermiliads in the back. Oh, there's my neighbor dog friend. I don't know his name. Vermiliads in the back, lilies here in the front, Oriental Chinese palm, 2 sour orange trees, some aloe, and a fern to help dress up this corner and hide the compost pile. So we're throwing our bananas and leftover veggie scraps and grass from the yard and all the good stuff that's going to turn into good compost. And we got the water system flushed several times, and I do want to put a cover over that drum so that the sun doesn't start growing algae in there. We have some apple cider vinegar that we mix with the water. It is an acidic purifier. We did that several times during the flushing cycles, and then there's a little bit mixed with the water now, but it's going to be a while before they even start drinking out of these little nipples. The ducks will have a little pond over here. I let them out the other day, leaving the door open. They could get out if they want, but they're not interested in going out there. Must be a frog or something in my fan. Yep, there he is right there. I would get out of there if I were you, buddy. You're gonna get chopped up in a frog souffle. So that's what's going on the homestead. Everything growing like crazy. Summertime is here. Well, I'm gonna go eat lunch. We made good progress this morning. That was something that I was a goal. I gotta get this done. I gotta get this done. I gotta get this done. Or at least on one side. Get it closed up. Get it closed up. We'll work on the other side next week. A lot of boards. Going through them 2 big piles, and that's what we got left to finish off the other side. All this is scrap cut. Chicks are out in their run for the first time this morning. Yep, 3 or 4 of them went out by themselves, and then the last 2 came out later on. Then they went back in, and they came out again. His Royal Highness Mufasa does not agree that they should be out. Oh, looky there. We got the beds filled up the rest of the way. So those are ready for seed. Are they ready for seed? Thanks for watching.